Auburn can't catch a break. Today on Longshore and McKnight. How about that intro?
And clip. There we go. You guys got it? You got to put it on there? Yeah.
I'm out. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. We are live on the Friday live show, Longshore and McKnight. The guy on, as you're looking, the guy to the left is John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. I'm to the right. We're in separate spots. We have been together for just about 30 years.
Man, how about that?
This coming March, and very rarely have we been together in a room. It's probably for a good thing, but
probably why we've been together so long.
Maybe so. I'm down in Troy. He's in Montgomery, where the mayor.
Yeah, scheduled to join us today.
Yeah, John puts on his preview on Twitter. He puts the mayor, and I'm thinking, Lido Hatchie, Hope Hull.
Could be.
Yeah, it's the mayor of Montgomery, Stephen Reed, who has been a regular guest, and he really started as a long time listener to the program, big fan and everything,
and contributor. As a matter of fact,
that's true. That's true. He's coming up a little bit later on, but the intro kind of startled me a little bit.
Oh, wow.
Duke Smith signs with Alabama.
I don't think so.
Let's see.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Alabama's hiring yesterday, or at least it was announced yesterday, of an assistant to the assistant offensive line coach, Viane Talamayavo.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
How many, that automatically improves the prospects of the offensive line to where now they're going to be a juggernaut and Auburn's going to lose by 7 touchdowns. I'm trying to Auburn.
I don't know much about that guy, Barry. I tell you, I did hear another rumor that Mike Shula was coming back to be on Kalen DeBoer's staff as a quarterback analyst.
And in case anybody wonders, with all of the new rules and regulations, and John and I both are long past trying to keep up with them all.
Gee, no kidding.
I think you can have an unlimited staff.
Yeah.
I think you can have as many as you want. But over the last week, Alabama has signed, he's like Dwight Schrute from The Office. He's like the assistant to the assistant. He is an assistant to Adrian Clem, who is the offensive line coach. Earlier, I guess last week, Alabama hired earlier this week, Noah Fisher, who I remember when he played at South Alabama. He is an assistant to the assistant tight ends coach. I'm thinking,
that's a secretary, isn't it?
That is barely, and I like Noah Fisher. He was a good player, all conference. That is barely on the staff. John Heck, the tight ends coaches
make. I mean, the way they're paying these coaches, so we got making 6 figures.
Back in the day, the tight ends coach was barely on the staff.
Yeah.
You remember who the tight ends coach used to be. It used to be the best recruiter on the staff. We just got to get him on the staff.
That was Ronnie Cottrell. Ronnie Cottrell was a tight ends coach.
Yeah, that's what you did. Yeah. Tell him to block when it's a blocking play. Have him go out when it's a pass play. But now you got an assistant to the tight ends coach.
Come on. Have you ever heard the phrase too many cooks in the kitchen? I mean, come on.
So
how many folks you got to have on? And am I supposed to feel better? Hey, they got all these top flight coaches on that offensive line up there. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
How about some top flight offensive linemen?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might help a little bit.
That's what I'm looking for.
But
you're probably wondering what entered my brain to come out with the statement Auburn can't catch a break.
That is about the 1,457,233rd straight time I said, what has entered his brain to make him say that?
And Barry, I've been a big proponent of Auburn athletics over these 30 years. I've given my say, my peace of mind. Sometimes it's ruffled some feathers, But when the dust settles, it's, he was right. He had a good point there. Sure. Yeah. We do need to expand our footprint and take our product to other parts of the country. We just don't need to be playing teams in the tri-state area. That was my big one. That was probably my first big push for football.
That wasn't your big one, but that was your first large one.
Yeah.
Later on, Auburn, do whatever you can, whatever it takes, except no excuses. Get Notre Dame on the schedule.
Well, that's
get Notre Dame on the schedule. Auburn, why haven't you gotten Notre Dame on the schedule? Auburn, I'm tired of telling you, get Notre Dame on the schedule. Finally, 26 years after John and I started working together,
I knew it would eventually
Auburn gets Notre Dame on the schedule.
It's like the water dripping. It's going to eventually get to them.
They're like, all right.
But that's
like
where
your
I'm
wife
going
telling
here.
you to mow the grass. Okay, give me some time. It's only been 3 weeks. Give me a break.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm going with this about Auburn not catching a break. And there again, things can change between now and when they're actually scheduled to play. I believe next year, as a matter of fact,
November 25th, 2027 in South Bend.
That's a late game to be playing a non-conference game. No, you say November 27th?
No, September.
Okay.
No.
But here's my deal. Even though Alabama did play Notre Dame in South Bend the week before Auburn back in the 70s, that was the Ozzie Newsome game. So I've heard people say over the years in the Nick Saban era, man, Bama catches all these breaks. They schedule these big-time non-conference games, and then when it's time to play them, those teams aren't any good. I've actually heard that. Heard that many, many times. Maybe because Bama was beating them so bad. Who knows? But they did schedule a lot of good non-conference games, most of them at neutral sites, some of them home and away. But Alabama got the better of that. So Auburn gets into the game as well, schedules Notre Dame for 27-28 and the Miami Hurricanes for 29-30, if I'm not mistaken. And
I'm not even going to look because he's scary good about it. There's several things that he really, really pays attention to.
Yeah, let me put my specs on. Yeah, 29-30. They played Miami. Played Notre Dame in 27-28. They play Notre Dame October 28th in 2028. That's kind of late. I knew one of those games was late.
He's got a point. It's coming up. He had to tell you when the Ozzie Newsome game was.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And you'll notice he spent 2 or 3 seconds trying to remember where he was. And now this. And just hang in, everybody.
Here we
coming
go.
Around the mountain.
I want to be as descriptive as possible.
Yep.
But I've been hearing a lot about those two teams, Notre Dame and Miami. A lot about them. And I saw where Miami picked up some commitments for some big-time players, a couple of them the other day. I'm thinking, here it is, Auburn's luck. And I've actually heard somebody before say, they're not any good. Well, they're pretty good now because Notre Dame's in most everybody's top 5 preseason poll. Miami's not too far behind. And I'm thinking to myself, isn't that so Auburn-esque? They finally put 2 really good non-conference games on the schedule, and these teams are in it pretty good. I mean, really good. And there's no sign that they're going to decline based on how well they're recruiting. They're going to have talent for the next several years, and Auburn's got to face them, which they got to play. You never know what's going to happen. I've been a big proponent of, hey, you might win the game. Well, they certainly might. That's why they're playing. But I thought, man, what luck for Auburn. They finally catch these 2 teams, and now they're good. If they could have caught them 10 years ago, it would have been a lot better. I'm always looking out for Auburn.
So what if they lose? Well, so what? You can't think like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm just making the point. These 2 programs are on the uptick. Not to say Auburn didn't either. Well,
they might be.
But up.
They might be. Maybe maybe beating those teams will add to Auburn's uptick.
That's the way I like it.
Maybe. All right. So they're good. All right. Can you imagine, therefore, how great we're going to be, how awesome this will be for our university when we beat them?
Perfect. Yet finally, people thinking more like me these days. You might win the game. Yeah. How about that? And if you do, You don't think Auburn beating Notre Dame in South Bend September 25th, 2027 would be huge for that program? And the next year at Auburn, late October, ooh, man, nice crisp fall night at Jordan-Hare, the Eagles flying, sun setting.
Here we go.
Oh, I mean, how big would that be for the program? Then you go down to South Beach the next year feeling pretty confident and cocky, open up the season against Miami on September the 1st. A little hot and humid. I would have probably preferred that game to be October as well, but we'll take what we can get.
Yep.
And then the next year, Miami opens up the season in Jordan-Hare for a sweltering hot game on Pat Dye Field. Probably a night game, if I had to guess. Pretty good home opener there. But don't overlook, Barry, the game the next year in early September that could trip the Tigers up because they could be feeling high and mighty and all cocky after playing Notre Dame and Miami and overlook the Troy Trojans on September the 6th of 2031.
That's by 2031. John and I would be, holy smokes, John would be 70.
What year is it now? 26?
See, John can tell you the Ozzie Newsome game. He was like that, and now 10 minutes later, he's like, "What year is it?"
I'm only going to be 63 in December. That's the 23rd, by the way.
Oh yeah. You were born in late December back in 60.
I don't think I'll be 70. Will I be 70 and 31? I don't think I'll be
68. You'll be
68. Okay. I'm about to say I didn't think I'll be 70 by then.
Real quick,
old. 62 doesn't sound old. 70 sounds old.
Man, when you were a kid and your dad was 62, when my dad was 62, I thought he was ancient.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is it? He doesn't know anything about having a good time. He's seeing a guy. He's 62. Oh my gosh! And then I hit 62, and I'm rolling. It's all right. Here we go, dude. It's all a matter of perspective, I suppose. One thing, real quick, because there's actually been two things.
Yep.
Can you confirm or deny? I'm going to flash this up on the screen from the chat line. John from Wetumpka, and he writes. John, to the depth of your being, you want Auburn to lose to Notre Dame.
Now, John.
Is that?
Come on. Really? Why would I want that to happen? Why would I want an in-state school to suffer defeat to the hands of Notre Dame, the most tradition-rich, well-known college football program on the planet? Why would I want that to happen? Why would I want to give Notre Dame anymore?
Again, the answer to that question, as has been the answer to these thousands of questions through the years, is because it's Auburn. John, why do you spend so much time talking about $180,000 in connection to one of those state universities in this wonderful state we live in? Because it's Auburn. Also,
I'm going to find that out one day. I promise. That
the other one here, Bob from Pike Road.
Yeah.
Again, Plainsman Preston's mad at us because we read a lot of Bob stuff and not enough of his.
I thought it was because the Moneyline Magician wasn't on this week.
Yeah, Plainsman Preston puts like 5-word chats, or he'll have something like belly, or a webcam is only $48 over. Bob from Pike Road says, John.
Yes.
What helmet team has Auburn beaten in this decade? Great topic for June, but not very likely in reality.
Well, I don't have the numbers in front of me, Bob, but I do recall Auburn's record against conference teams is not very good over the last 4 or 5 seasons. I can't think of a non-conference team they played that I would consider a helmet game. I mean, Baylor.
At Baylor. Let's see.
UCLA was on the schedule, but they pulled the plug on that one. Who else has Auburn played? Somebody help me here. Usually my go-to is Clemson or Georgia Tech, but I don't think they played them in a while.
At Kentucky. Beat Texas A&M.
That's a conference
in
game.
2020. Well, yeah. I'm trying to, all right, non-conference, but that may take a little while.
That's a good one, Bob. I got to think about that one.
Also,
but their record against conference foes hadn't been great. But, that was then. This is now. We're looking ahead. As I mentioned, to open the show, Auburn can't catch a break. I just think, and again, they're playing the game. They win it. Fantastic. Great. Love it. But I'm thinking, man, they're catching these two teams when they're hot. They're recruiting well. They're in the top 5 in the preseason polls. Everybody's talking about them. Heard Cowherd talking about these two teams along with one other one recently about who he thinks are the hottest teams and the teams that have got a chance to win it all this year. Notre Dame and Miami were two of them. I think you'll hear a lot about them this fall. But that's good. That's right. On the good side of it, you want to beat teams that people are talking about, that are hot, that are like, oh man, these teams are the best. Beat them. And it thrusts you into that category, at least for a week. It does.
In items of news, as we go to break, this is a tease. They have come out finally, now that we are done with the academic year and the competitive year of 25-26 in intercollegiate athletics. They have come out with what has been known as the Learfield Division I Directors Cup standings.
Okay.
The best athletic programs, all in all, women's soccer, women's volleyball, women's golf, and everything. And there's good news and bad news.
Uh-oh. We're gonna dive into that when we get back.
Yeah, just not the whole thing. Look, Yale's at 43. Nothing like that, but the good news is that 9 of the top 18 schools in the overall Directors Cup athletic department wins and losses standings are from the SEC.
Oh, hey, you go, Greg Sankey.
9 of 18 are from the SEC. That's the good news.
Yep.
The bad news is, of those 9, none of them are Auburn.
Well, speaking of 9, Barry, how about our man Joe this morning on the chat line?
Yeah, Joe says, hey, any more Bammers get charged with felonies with 9? What? How was it say? How many? 9 felonies? Overnight odds are plus 150.
You can tell it's late June, ladies and gentlemen.
More in a moment.
Wait a minute. Georgia State was a helmet game. No, Bill. No, not even close.
John couldn't even tell you what Georgia State's helmet looks like.
Yeah, I don't even know where they're located, except in the state of Georgia. I can't give you that.
He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's the Friday show, Longshore and McKnight, in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Drive away in a Toyota Crown Platinum or win your share of $25,000 in free play during Victoryland Casino's Crown and $25K free play giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Visit our Players Club and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, off I-85 exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings July 10th and 11th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
The following is a message from the Bud Light Party.
July 4th is the most demanding holiday of the year. Justine just wants a half. Alex needs a hot dog without a bun. And Rose says her homemade veggie burgers taste just like the real thing. So this July 4th, stock up on a sure thing. Bud Light. It's a 4th of July fixture everyone can agree to agree on. This message approved by the Bud Light Party. Raise one to right now. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri.
Big news for Central Alabama travelers. Getting to Texas just got easier. You can now fly nonstop from Montgomery to Houston with United Airlines. No long drives, no layovers, just smooth direct travel from your hometown airport. Whether it's business or a weekend getaway, Houston is now just one flight away. Spend more time there and less time getting there. Fly nonstop to Houston. Fly MGM, where travel feels easy. Book your trip today at flymgm.com.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. About 19 minutes past the hour on this Friday edition of Longshore McKnight in association with our friends at Yellowhammer News. Check it out, yellowhammernews.com. You can check us out on the Yellowhammer News Facebook page. I'll write up about Longshore and McKnight, give you a little brief synopsis of what we did on the program. And, of course, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate that. You'll never miss any content. Our friends at Yellowhammer News submit some video clips throughout the day. You can check those out on Instagram. Alex does a great job with those up there at Yellowhammer. So make sure you like and subscribe. Tell your friends and associates as well. Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, X, Instagram. It's all over the place. Just type in Longshore McKnight on the search bar and you will find us. Ooh.
Here we go. All right. The final 2025-2026 Learfield Division I final standings. I'll go ahead and tell you this. For the third straight year, it's Texas.
That makes sense.
Stanford's passé. Stanford's number 2. Stanford is always in it because they sponsor every sport. Women's rowing, got it. Women's lacrosse, sure. Women's track and field, we got it. Oh, yeah. So Stanford's number 2. Texas is number 1. Again, they are one of only 2 in the top 6. Only 3 in the top 8, but one of 9 SEC teams in the top 18. And again, I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag because I know a lot of you Crimson Tiders are saying, what about Auburn? What about Auburn? What about Auburn? Auburn ain't one of the 9. But they're not bad. I'll go ahead and tell you this. Auburn comes in at number 26. Right ahead of Kentucky at number 27. Auburn at number 26.
You
That's
would think
news,
that golf
right?
national championship would have boosted them a little higher than that.
See, I'm not going to go into all of the rankings and the points you get for this and that and everything. But if you win a national championship, you get 100 points. And you got Auburn puttering around with 9 points, 12 points, 0 points, 0 points, 22 points. Then you look at men's golf, bing, 100.
100.
Thank
there
gosh.
You go. There's
a
100.
national championship. Auburn number 26, but number 10 in the SEC. Of course, Texas number 1. They lead the SEC. Then you go to number 6. That is Florida. The Gators finished number 6 despite getting that behind spanked by Troy in the regional in Gainesville in baseball. Georgia is 3rd in the SEC and number 8 overall. Then you go to Michigan at 9. Then you go to Ohio State at number 10. By the way, also in there, North Carolina, Virginia, USC, UCLA. That's top 10. Duke is number 11. Duke. Yesterday,
I thought all they did was play basketball.
John made some, not yesterday, but earlier this week, John made some offhand dismissive comment about Duke because they had a running back ranked higher than any Alabama running back.
I certainly did. That is a fact. I did not know who that young man was, nor did I know he played for Duke. But when I saw that at a reputable publication, I went, what? Is that is Bama's running back room so bad that Duke's got a running back better than they do?
Yep.
The
Duke Blue Devils are number 11. Number 12, back to the SEC. As a matter of fact, the first of 5 straight SEC schools in a row.
Lay 'em on me.
Texas A&M, number 12.
Okay. All right.
Alabama, number 13. Number 13 overall, pretty good. I mean,
how many SEC teams are above or ahead of Alabama?
1, 2, 3, 4. So Alabama's number 5 in the SEC.
And it was Texas, Texas A&M,
Georgia, Florida, and Alabama.
Okay.
Alabama number 13. I thought it would be higher. They win a national champions. No, they made the College World Series in baseball. They made the College World Series in softball. They made the whatever they made. That was the quietest, really good year I've ever seen Alabama have in anything. Football made it
You get points deducted from your total score when in football, basketball, and baseball, your last game, you get blown out by double digits. Is that a deduction?
No. Right. No, they can't even fit that in a column. They can't even put that title in a column.
All right.
But Alabama, number 13. I thought they'd be higher because, they did really well in some of those sports.
Whew, yeah, man.
Arkansas 14, Tennessee 15.
Whoa, there again, Arkansas. Thank you, track and field, cross country, indoor and outdoor.
They were pretty good in basketball. They were pretty good in baseball.
I guess those track sports add up too, huh?
I don't know why they were decent in golf, that kind of a thing. But Arkansas, number 14, Tennessee, number 15, Oklahoma, number 16, with a national championship in baseball, LSU, number 18. By the way, Notre Dame is number 19.
Yep.
Number 20 is Princeton.
Really?
It goes. It doesn't tell you. Well, what's your competition look like? No, it just, if you're Division I or Division 1A, that's what you got. Princeton was the highest ranked non-Division 1A, whatever you call it, non-FBS program. Princeton, number 20.
All right.
Princeton is number 20. Auburn is number 26. Princeton had a better year athletically than Auburn did. Princeton?
This was usually meat and potato topics for me, Barry, but I've matured and grown and turned the page. I don't, like to, spotlight, I don't want to say the deficiencies, but maybe the accomplishments of other schools, Princeton, over a school like Auburn. I used to do, I could spend 3 hours on the radio doing that kind of stuff, but just felt like I needed to move on a little bit. I'm glad you brought it up.
Here's what the deficiencies are. And this is what, all the bubbas in the Southeast like to point to.
Uh-huh.
You get the same number of points if you win a championship in football as you do if you win a championship or place highly in women's rowing. And that's the truth. They're not weighted to this or weighted to that. That's like the all SEC sports standings.
Yeah.
You get like Arkansas. Arkansas is always really high there. And the reason why is that they're good in, like John said, cross country and women's tennis. And they're usually good in basketball. But if you were weighting this a little bit more towards football, Indiana would be much, much, much better than number 47, right ahead of Harvard, right behind the poorest SEC school, and every SEC school is in the top 60. The poorest one is, of course, everybody, Mississippi State.
Oh, Barry,
behind UCF, behind New Mexico.
I wish you just hadn't even brought them up.
Mississippi
that just gets
State.
me on my soapbox about, can we get rid of them in the league? Do we really need Mississippi State? I know that's a very controversial statement, but what do they add? What do they do?
It's nothing personal. John's got several friends at Mississippi State.
Yeah,
do you
been
have
there many a time.
Yeah, their play-by-play guy is one of the best, I think, in the country. Very underrated, Neil Price. But whenever you guys, and I don't even hang out with the same people that John hangs out with the brandy snifters and the silver-plated cigar clips and all that kind of stuff. But whenever they sit around and talk about, the SEC needs the SEC needs to do this.
That's right.
What would you do to strengthen the SEC? All those guys are saying, well, number one thing I do is we got to get rid of Mississippi State.
I mean, I hate to pile on.
Guess who came in last in the league again this year in anything? Mississippi State. You guess who has? All right, I got a trivia question. Guess who has the smallest athletic budget in the SEC? Got to be Mississippi State, right? That's the default bottom of the league response for everybody.
And I got a lot of good friends. Bart Heich played at State. I don't want to dump on them. And no offense to anybody out there, but let's just, lay it on the line and call it like it is. If you are an SEC program, an SEC football program, and you play a game at South Alabama, at UAB, and at Troy, you got a problem. Nothing against those three programs, but SEC schools don't travel to schools like that. Mississippi State's all in. Oh, hell yeah. We'll come play at your place.
They play
because we're broke.
Upcoming, they play at Memphis. They play at Southern Miss. They play at Tulane. And that Tulane game ain't at the Superdome. Just to give you a little, in terms of being good stewards and a fine school and all that, man, they belong. But just to give you a little perspective here, Texas wins the All Sports Trophy with the total score, blah, 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 blah. The total score is 1,322 points.
Yeah.
1,322. Texas is in the SEC, same league that Mississippi State is in. Texas, 1,322 points. Mississippi State, 445.5.
So here's the deal.
They are
like you earlier.
They could have 3 times the number of athletic teams as they currently have, and they still wouldn't have caught up to Texas.
You're right. And there again,
right.
I don't want to really dump on Mississippi State. I think it's just, sometimes the truth hurts. Love Ole Miss, great game day atmosphere, beautiful campus.
There have been Longshores that have paid tuition at Ole Miss.
That's correct. But you mentioned, I asked you, Barry, what teams are ahead of Alabama? And you mentioned Texas, Georgia, Florida, Texas A&M. Those 4 schools in particular, just those 4, think about it. All 4 of those schools are in a big state with a lot of population and a lot of money. A lot of big business, Fortune 500 companies, all that kind of stuff. Texas has your oil. Atlanta is the transportation, media, banking, business center of the South. Florida's got more people than they can shake a stick at. People flocking to the state of Florida left and right, leaving
Texas
California
A&M.
And other states.
If you've never been to Texas A&M, it is freaking huge.
Yeah.
They got 70,000 students. They're about to have a 110,000-seat football stadium. Their endowment for their entire university, what's the proper verb? Dwarfs.
No doubt.
Alabama's endowment.
So how are you going to compete with those 4 schools in particular? I've said it pre-Kirby Smart. I said it long before Kirby Smart got to Athens. Man, to me, Georgia's the best job in the league. If anybody you're dealing with, Georgia Tech's kind of a little gnat that the legislature makes them pay. There's no Auburn and Alabama going at it every day of the week in the state of Georgia. Georgia's got to deal with Florida to the south and Tennessee to the north and this South's oldest rivalry thing that they've got cooked up. But they basically own the Peach State, similar to LSU. They ain't got to deal with anybody down there. And you got a state like Alabama with 4 million people, 4.5 million people, and they're fighting it out between 2 big-time schools in the SEC. It makes it difficult. I think the road is a little more difficult for teams like Auburn and Alabama than a Florida, than a Georgia, Texas A&M. People ask us all the time, why don't they let Florida State in the SEC? Florida doesn't want them. Why would they want Florida State in the league? We're going to dominate the Sunshine State. We don't want anybody else down here in the SEC. We like being numero uno, the big cheese, number 1.
The head honcho.
The head honcho.
Yeah. Uh-huh. All of those are factors in it. If you wanted to, if you were of a mind and somebody brought that up and you're an Alabama fan, you could make those points. Well, Texas is big. Texas A&M is big. Georgia's got the state to themselves. Florida you'd be right. You would be right. Those are all built-in advantages that those schools have that Alabama doesn't have. But you know what? That don't matter. You've still got to do it. We've got this. We've got this. Those are great excuses. Those are legitimate excuses. But you still got to line up and play them. You still got to attract the finest, better student athletes than they do. And how do you attract them? You pay them a little bit.
You got to
more.
pay them.
So
You got
if
to
you
pay
want to, you can bring those excuses up till the cows come home, and you'd be absolutely justified. But you wouldn't be able to sit there at Bryant-Denny Stadium or at Jordan-Hare Stadium comfortably and look down there as the Longhorns take the field and feel really, really good about your team's chances every week. They will always have an advantage. You know, John has said before, on the face of this earth, particularly in the Western Hemisphere, if you are a good-looking woman, nature has, you didn't have anything to do with being tall or blonde. Maybe being blonde had something, you could do something about that. But you have built-in advantages over some girl with poor eyesight and acne and, carrying a few extra pounds. But you know what? Nothing you can do about it. Well, you can probably lose a little weight, pass away the Swiss cake rolls and all that. But
I do wonder, Barry, how, and we talk about Auburn and Alabama competing with the rest of the SEC. How does Mississippi State compete? I mean, think about it. 5, 10, 15 years from now, where's Mississippi State going to be in this whole mix? I don't like their future. I don't like what I'm seeing in Starkville. How are they going to compete with Texas and Texas A&M?
Here's what I respect about Mississippi State. And again, I've got many great friends, and I like the campus. It's a great place. It really, really is. But by gosh, John, man, they've spent a long time and a lot of years in this league. And they look out there at Davis Wade Stadium in front of a standing room only crowd of 45,000, and they see the Alabama Crimson Tide stream out onto their field. Or here come the Georgia Bulldogs, and those Mississippi State fans are shaking their cowbells, and they know they got no chance. But yet they still show up.
They do.
They still don't donate to the Bully Club or whatever they call it. They still, pay the seat licenses and the NIL, and they get out there and they say, all right, hey, we're coming all the way from Brandon, or all the way from Loosedale, or all the way from Hattiesburg to sit there and watch this team, and we know we are about to get our brains beat out.
Yeah.
That's what I respect about Mississippi State fans, John.
Well,
salute.
Yeah, they've stood by their team, and they've baseball won a national championship recently. Their basketball team went to the Final Four years ago.
On that team, yes.
They've been to the SEC championship game, something Ole Miss has never done before.
True.
I remember going to a Mississippi State Alabama game years ago. This was probably in the late 80s, early 90s. It was an 11:30 Jefferson Pilot game.
Oh.
Drove from Montgomery to Starkville early Saturday morning.
Oh.
First time I'd been there, and I remember walking into that stadium. Maybe one of the sides had the upper deck on it. I believe it did, but the other side did not. I don't think the end zones were enclosed either.
And John's looking there saying, where's the rest of their stadium?
Yeah. I was sitting on the non-upper deck side. And I made the comment when I returned, and I still stand by it today. Crampton Bowl was in better shape than that stadium. It was horrible. I thought, this is an SEC stadium? Exposed red clay as you're walking out of the portal from your stand to the concession area and the restrooms. I'm thinking, what is that? What I think it is? Is that like just red clay right there, like the side of a hill or something?
Can't you grow some grass there or pave it or something? But
they've improved over the years. I'll give them credit.
You've got to understand this. The Mississippi State fans live and love and bleed for their school just as much and just as hard as Alabama fans bleed for their school.
Yeah.
They love their school just as much as some of you guys love Alabama. That is true. That is true. There's just not enough of them.
That's
and
right.
they just don't have the money.
I knew I could smoke out Dennis Mitchell on this one. This is an easy one. This is a layup.
Dennis says, I want Florida State to join the SEC.
Dennis, how many times have we been over this? I mean, I love your tenacity, determination. pulling for the Seminoles. It ain't happening. And I just gave you one reason why. The other one, they don't bring anything to the table. So what? Oh, hey, Tallahassee's like right in our geographical footprint. And, they're pretty close to Athens and Gainesville and Auburn and wherever. Who cares? In May down at Sandestin, okay, Florida State, how much you bring to the table? Well, been a tough year down in Tallahassee. Ain't going to happen. No, same thing for Clemson. Clemson ain't coming either.
This is what's weird to John. Real quick, before we go to break, this is what's weird to John. And I go to Tallahassee a fair amount. I'm in Tallahassee, a good amount. You're in the middle of Tallahassee, right in the middle of the state of Florida, right in the middle of the southeastern United States. You got, all of those staples that people in the SEC know about. 30A, you got Navarre Beach, you got Destin. It's right. It's closer there than it is to any other SEC school. I mean, you are in the absolute epicenter of the SEC footprint. And John's sitting there in Tallahassee going, none of these people are SEC fans.
Yeah. Forget it.
They're getting geeked up over Boston College coming in the fall. Woo. This is weird. You are right in the middle of the SEC, and John's looking around thinking, none of these people are SEC fans.
Yeah, you got a Thursday nighter at Wake Forest? Forget it.
When you got Saturday, whenever you got Saturdays in the South on SEC Network, and they're talking about, Pooley Hubert and that trip to Washington, or Bob Nealand, or Steve, those people don't care. They're not watching.
They don't.
That. Weird. That's weird.
If the SEC ever expands, and I'm not talking about big boys where the Big Ten and the SEC come together and they come up with this big boy league. To me, that's the only way Florida State and Clemson get in. And they wouldn't so-called be in the SEC. They'd just be a part of the big boy conference. But if the SEC does expand, I feel even stronger today than I did months ago that the SEC's number one target would be North Carolina. The Tar Heels would be the team that they would want first.
I would agree with that.
The second team,
North Carolina, and I used to live in North Carolina 3 times, I think. And my mom used to. North Carolina is awesome. It is a growth state. That is
no doubt about it.
Fantastic school.
Yeah, Charlotte's hopping. I'll say this, Barry. I think it's the most likely they could get. I think still today they would love to have 100%. Notre Dame. 100%. I think anybody would love to have Notre Dame. And there again, Greg Sankey mentioned it. All of the SEC schools, their states join. They're contiguous. Indiana touches Kentucky. It's not like these Big Ten schools are out west and all that stuff.
From the state of Kentucky as you can be and still be in the state of Indiana.
Correct.
But technically, it does count.
It does count. So Notre Dame would be number one, but the most likely is North Carolina. So who would be the other one?
Well, this is what Plainsman Preston says.
Ain't going to be Clemson.
He says Carolina ain't leaving Duke. I agree. And
everything has a price. Don't give me that they ain't leaving Duke. That's like people saying, oh, Alabama wouldn't leave Auburn.
Yeah.
You really?
Brad Pitt ain't leaving Jennifer Aniston.
Did Oklahoma leave Oklahoma State? Yeah, I think they did.
Without blinking an eyelash. Don't forget, Duke is number 11 in the all sports trophy.
Yeah.
Ahead of Texas A&M, ahead of Alabama. They've got a running back rated higher than
what happens there? North Carolina comes to the SEC and they make an agreement to play Duke every year. That could be their non-conference football game. Schedule them in basketball. It's all good.
Well, again, we've run a little long. It is Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. Many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272.
Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Grab some Bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Big news for Central Alabama travelers. Getting to Texas just got easier. You can now fly nonstop from Montgomery to Houston with United Airlines. No long drives, no layovers, just smooth direct travel from your hometown airport. Whether it's business or a weekend getaway, Houston is now just one flight away. Spend more time there and less time getting there. Fly nonstop to Houston. Fly MGM, where travel feels easy. Book your trip today at flymgm.com.
Okay, about 14 minutes to the top of the hour here on this Friday program. Glad you're with us. Hit that like and subscribe button. John from Wetumpka tried to, hit me with a gut shot earlier in the program today about Notre Dame, Auburn. I would pull for Notre Dame over
John,
Auburn.
with every fiber of his being, would want Notre Dame to beat Auburn.
Yeah. Joe wants to know, how do I like and subscribe? Well, there's a little thumb button that you hit and like and subscribe, Joe. That's just pretty easy to do, I believe.
Yeah.
Isn't that how you do it?
Thumb button. Holy God. Yeah,
Look
we're
for the
talking,
thumb button. Yeah.
He ain't exactly a NASA engineer over here.
Yeah. Oh, heck
just look for the thumb button.
Yeah.
There's a subscribe
Yeah,
button.
you can't beat it.
Yeah.
What I find interesting about Barry, about John from Wetumpka's comments is how he tries to divert and distract me from the fact that his Atlanta Braves are 3-7 in their last 10 and have dropped 4 in a row. That's what I want to talk about, but no. Oh, you going to be rooting for Notre Dame over Auburn? How about what's going on with the Braves?
John's been distracted from the Braves recently.
Yeah.
He had some time off. He had, you just gotta get back to what, to dance with who brung you here.
Yeah, it's like crickets. The Braves go into a nosedive. It's like, oh, don't talk about them. Oh, just don't say.
They've had injuries,
Oh, here we go.
The reason why they're not talking about them is because
injuries.
we
going Robbie from Greenville here. Well, they had a bunch of injuries. Okay.
Yeah.
You just set your watch to it, folks. It's injuries. It's a midseason, swoon. Most difficult part of the schedule. We'll hear that one as well. What are some other good ones that we usually hear about the Braves?
Yeah,
they're coming.
Yeah. It's they could never have kept up that torrid pace that they were. No, nobody can.
Now, wait a minute. Don't they walk out there between the lines every day trying to win the game?
Yes.
Okay.
But they're, Bill from Baltimore does say this. Still in first.
Bill. Come
Still in first place.
That
actually made John wince. That actually made John recoil like, oh, Bill.
But they're on a 4-game losing streak. They've lost 7 of their last 10. I mean, really? And you're right. Now, I think the Phantom's Daily Dog has included a Braves game a time or two already this year.
That's been true. That has
been. I'm not dogging games because, I hate them. I want them to lose. I'm looking at a game that I can win. can cash in a ticket.
Yeah, this stuff right
night.
now,
More on that in a minute.
this non-phantom daily dog content, that's what this is for. It's for Dog and the Braves. But
now listen, if the Braves cash a ticket for me, I'm all over it. You better believe it.
Hey, can we get Sid Bream on? That kind of a thing.
But if the Braves, if I stick my neck out and say, hey, I'm taking the Braves at plus 110 today, and they lose, hope they get blown out.
Now, Joe asks, how do you like and subscribe? John says, isn't there a thumb button?
Yeah.
Which is one of the great things that's ever been said on this program. Well, Joe also says, how do you like and subscribe to Arity's Angels? I know a guy you can ask. That's all I'm saying. I don't necessarily know how to like Arity's Angels. I'm not even sure it's still there.
I don't either.
But I can put you up. I can put you with a guy who knows how to. Has something to do with giving them the key to your mini bar in your hotel room or something. But I
think Arity's Angels is right over there off Blue Angel Parkway in Pensacola. If I'm going to be down that way around the 4th, I just might mosey on over there and see if it's still in business. Just passing by. I'm not going to go in. Is it just me, or you don't see establishments like that like you used to? Back in the day, they had Sammy's and the Green Frog over there in Fort Walton. And
Green Frog.
Yeah, it was kind of nasty, actually. You had a lot of places like that back in the day. Sammy's was everywhere. Heck, they even had a Sammy's in Birmingham. I don't even know if that's still a thing anymore. Sammy's had a great radio commercial, I will say that. Hey, you put in a full 3-hour day, come on over and relax at Sammy's.
According to Yelp.
Yep.
You know what Yelp is?
Got it. Yep.
Yelp, according to Yelp, Arity's Angels is closed.
Ooh.
They got a lot of free publicity.
They certainly did, but maybe it was bad publicity that got them. I don't think Hog's Breath was a gentleman's club, so to speak.
Oh,
it was just a bar.
No, it was a bar. Yeah. You got the Hog's Breath. I've never been in there. I used to live down there, in that town, and everybody had one of those T-shirts.
Barry, I'd be interested to know, is Cash's faux pas still a thing? Right there on Okaloosa Island? I mean, when we were teenagers,
it has been a long time.
Huge.
I used to live on Okaloosa. I've lived everywhere. I keep thinking about if somebody sat me down and say, can you name in order every place that you've lived since your birth? I don't think I could. I couldn't do it in order. I don't think. Yeah. I'd have to think about it. But I did live on Okaloosa Island, and Cash's was going strong.
Oh, yeah.
Back then.
Was printing money.
Yeah.
Down there. But I didn't, I don't even know if it's a thing down there anymore.
Whoa. Motide Pride says the Cheetah 3 is closed. It's being replaced with campus apartments. That's over by Georgia Tech.
Yeah, that was in Atlanta. Yeah. The Cheetah was right there off near 14th Avenue. I'm told.
Yeah.
In
John
Atlanta.
says you could bring in your ticket stub from a Falcons game.
No, that was the Gold Club. That was you bring in a ticket stub from the Braves game.
My mistake.
Free.
I stand
I
corrected.
know that because the night the Braves won the World Series, when David Justice closed his eyes and just swung the bat and he hit one over the fence to win the game and the World Series.
I think it was against Jose Lima.
Some buddies of mine, they wanted to go celebrate.
Really,
goes,
buddies of yours?
Gold Club.
Is that what you're gonna go with? Is buddies of yours?
Yeah. Now, they lived in Atlanta. They knew where to go. It was an interesting scene in there that night. I will tell you
You're not
that.
even going to, for the benefit of our video audience, going to put air quotes on the screen like buddies of mine?
It was interesting. I walked in there, and it's like half the place in there knew one of my friends. Oh, hey, Bob, how you doing? Good to see you again.
Yeah.
Who are your friends? It's like all the girls in there knew this guy. I'm thinking, hey, man, how often you come to this place? How much you tipping these people? I mean, they knew him on a first-name basis. I said, man, we're VIPs
Who
in
does
here
he think
tonight.
He is? Patrick Ewing? It's unbelievable.
There was Tattletales. Of course, that was in the song by Motley Crue, Girls, Girls, Girls. The Cheetah,
that was a thing? That was really a place called...
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. Rocking in Atlanta at Tattletales.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
I know the lyrics, but I didn't know that was...
It was a real place. You better believe it.
Holy
Yeah.
smokes.
Gold Club got put out of business because of, how should I put it? Maybe inflating credit card tabs and using that against some of their clients of, you better pay this or the wife's going to find out. And they got in trouble for that, and they had to close the doors. There was a Cash's in near Marietta. That is true, but that wasn't the Cash's I'm talking about. There was a Cash's liquor store on about every corner of Okaloosa County.
That is true.
And they had a sign out there, Barry, one of those, you don't see these anymore, those portable little signs where you can change the alphabet on it, and it would say vodka, gin, or rum, your choice, $7.99. Every one of the Cash's had that. Vodka, gin, rum, your choice, $7.99. With the arrow blinking toward the building.
Well, yikes.
Those are things I remember back. And there was also, you walked in the front door of a Cash's liquor store. On the front door, it says, we're open every day of the year unless Cash is dead or got married. That's what it said on the front door.
I'd like to meet that guy.
I'm not sure Cash is still around, but Barry, he was a big Auburn guy. He was an Auburn alum. I don't know if he graduated from Auburn, but he was a big Auburn fan. I do know that.
Well, there you go.
Made it in the liquor business and the bar business.
Still to come as we get ready for our second live hour of the Friday show. The mayor of Montgomery is scheduled to join us. Also, there is an entity out there, former Alabama fullback Martin Houston. Remember Martin Houston?
Yeah.
Well,
but before you get to that, because I know what you're going to say, but Barry, this place is down your neck of the woods. This is in between Ozark and Dothan, I believe.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
The toy box too.
That thing has been closed for so long. I mean, that building is falling over. The sign is gone. The building is falling over.
I think a lot of their business came from Fort Rucker. Just saying.
That's been a long time gone. Okay.
All right,
now,
what you got?
Martin Houston, former Alabama fullback, does a sports show.
He does.
Radio podcast host. It's called the Martin Houston Show on with our friends at Tide 100.9 in Tuscaloosa.
Mm-hmm.
And they had Kalen DeBoer on. And AL.com picked up on this.
No way.
Yeah. Kalen DeBoer wants Alabama football to be the most hated team. There's something called RotoWire that had Alabama rated this past time as the second most hated team in college football, according to methodology used by RotoWire. Guess who was number one?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame was number one.
Sure
Alabama was number two. Kalen DeBoer is aspiring for Alabama to be number one.
You know how you get there, Coach? You beat people by 35, not get beat by 35. Because you lose games by 35, you're going to be the most liked team in college football. That's how you become the most hated. You got to start kicking people's ass, taking names, not being worried about how they feel about it, and walk out of there with your chest poked out like, yeah, we're big and bad. And you
don't want those fans to say, to sit in the stands at their home thing, and here comes Alabama. Gosh, I love playing Alabama.
Yeah,
isn't this great? I love playing these guys. You know, because I was a part of those opposing stands when I was a kid, when Alabama, on the rare occasion when they traveled to Florida Field in Gainesville, you'd see them coming, and you're like, oh, man. I remember Alabama beat Florida one year when I was a kid, 35-0.
Ooh.
In Gainesville, and I was a kid. I don't know that Florida got inside the 40-yard line that entire game.
Who was
Alabama? It was Bryant. The Florida coach was the early Charlie Pell. As a matter of fact, he was a Bryant guy.
Yep.
And it was 35-0. And I remember leaving that stadium with the thought, they could still be playing in a week continuously, and Florida will not have scored. It could be
Probably
1,000,000 before it would be 35-7.
Man, the glory years. Man.
And people hated that. They're like,
See, Barry, that's what I'm talking about.
You look on the schedule, on the poster, at the 7-Eleven, on the door, and you say, all right, who do we have? We have, oh, great. We got Mississippi State to start SEC play. That's awesome. Mississippi State. Love those guys. And then, okay, all right, we're beating Mississippi State. We may beat Kentucky. Ooh, Alabama. Well, I know that's a loss. Who else we got? People hate
Barry, it's like I said earlier this week. Bama fan misses the day of the games being over midway through the third quarter. That was a game I'm talking about. Back then, you go to some of the Coach Bryant games. Yeah, this game's over. No big deal. We're just here to see each other. The game just happens to be going on. They miss those days. Hey, Joe figured it out. Way to go, Joe. Thank you for hitting the like and subscribe button. We appreciate that, Joe. Everybody else get on there as well. Hey, Joe figured it out. Hey, you can too. Nothing against you, Joe.
I was about to say, hey, man, if Joe could figure it out, anybody can. Nothing
Joe,
personal.
I can't even figure it out.
Yeah. Hey, doesn't it have a thumb thing somewhere? Just hit the thumb button. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. Hour number 2 is coming up. Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Prattville Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk, stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Grab some Bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
All right, welcome back in. Glad you're with us here on a Friday morning, Longshore and McKnight. Of course, we produce the show live every weekday morning from 7 until 9 a.m., but you can watch it on your schedule. That's the beauty of it. You can pull it up, watch it, listen to it on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Apple Tunes, iTunes, Spotify, you name it, everything out there. Just type in Longshore and McKnight on the search bar, and you will be good to go to get in on the program here. As Joe did, he hit the like button. He hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate that. Helps with the algorithm, we're told, and we really appreciate that. And certainly keeps us going here as well, along with all of our great sponsors, and we really appreciate them as well on that. So looking forward to it. Matter of fact, I got some big sponsor news coming up at the first of next month. I think you'll know what we're talking about when we get to debut that again. So we're looking forward to that as well here on the program. We're going to ask the mayor about this, Joe, because Dennis has asked about it. I don't know that much about it, but what I do know is
about
that
what?
Jackson Hospital, there's some interesting, there's some news. Will it be here? What's going to happen with that healthcare facility? Hopefully the mayor can give us a little input on that, and we'll go for it from there.
Where does he?
Yeah, that was Joe's question at the.
Okay.
At the bottom of the. Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
All right. There you go. Yes.
Speaking of the mayor, there he is, Mayor Stephen Reed, mayor of Montgomery, Alabama, joining us here today on the program. I always appreciate his involvement here on the show to talk a little, sports and city government. Hey, Mayor, how you doing today?
Hey, John and Barry, how you guys doing? Getting ready for this second annual Mayor's Golf Tournament. I think next year we need to do this, on location and have you guys out there with all the real golfers, given that I'm not one. But at least I can somewhat look the part while I'm out there hacking up the course.
Yeah. And if you got John out there, there would be some side action.
Ain't no doubt. I mean,
no.
Hey, I ain't playing golf for fun. There got to be a little side action going on if I'm going to be out there on the golf course. And if you need a ringer for next year's tournament, I'm available.
Hey, we're going to get to work on that today.
I got you. Well, appreciate you spending some time with us before you spend some time out in the woods at the golf course there, Mayor. Appreciate it very much. Here we are.
Barry.
Here we are in the summertime. My first question, and it was one I thought of whenever you agreed to be on with us, that I wanted to ask him about this. This is something that we've asked you about before, and something that you have consistently said has been a real linchpin in your interest in becoming mayor, and that's the young people during the summer. Making sure that the young people in Montgomery have viable avenues for all kinds of different activities and challenging things to do and all kinds of that. Can you talk a little bit about that now that it's summer in Montgomery, the impact that your administration is seeking to provide outlets for young people and activities?
Yeah, Barry, it's important, I think, for us as a community to try to make sure some of the foundational things are still in place for young people. We know about all the screen time and all the things they do with their smartphones and that sort of thing, but there still is that need for just, human development and the type of growth that young people are dealing with in the summer. And so, the structured programs, whether it's midnight basketball, or whether it's some of our esports tournaments, making sure that all the pools are open, teaching young people how to swim, making sure they're having fun, while doing it as well. And just making sure that we're talking about things, some of the challenges they're dealing with social media. breaking down, bringing in speakers, bringing in, mentors and examples that they can look to. Some people who are from their neighborhoods who've gone on to do great things in the military, gone on to do great things, in their professional, personal lives. And then some of those who made some mistakes, and who can talk to them about how to avoid some of the pitfalls. So we're trying to do all those things this summer. And, we spent tens of millions of dollars reopening community centers from Regency Park to Chisholm. And man, they are nice. I mean, they are fantastic places that you could put in Vestavia, you could put them in Auburn, you could put them in Madison, you could put them anywhere in this state and they would be comparable. So we want to make sure the young people know that they have great facilities, they've got great coaches and mentors there, and we want them to have a great time in between summer. And then as we kind of get a little bit closer back to school coming in after the 4th of July, we'll start kind of tricking them a little bit with some back to school things that they don't know are really back to school things to get them ready to get back in the classroom here about the second week of August.
Mayor, as you can imagine, as we were on the air this morning and previewing that you were going to join us, we got a lot of reaction on our chat line. People wanting to know what you can tell us about the future of Jackson Hospital.
Well, you know what? That's a little while, I'm a few minutes late joining. I think that there's going to be some positive news come out of there, about all I can say right now.
Okay.
I think that is something that the county's been working on. I think it's something that the city's been working on. The Blue Cross Blue Shield, Jackson Hospital, the business community, faith leaders, I think probably been praying more the last week than they have probably since Holy Week. So it's been a whole lot of that going on. And I, double cross your fingers. I think that, and that's a cross the fingers. That's not a double something else, guys.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I think that we will have some good news to come out of that today that allows us to have a bridge opportunity, if you will, time frame for us to really address this in the long term. But I will say this, we're going to have to do some things differently as a community here, as a region here, to stabilize healthcare and to make sure it's a place of first choice and not last resort. And that means we're going to have to invest in it. Just like anything else. And we've looked at the Wiregrass, we looked at South Alabama, we've looked at the I-20 corridor in Birmingham, I-65 corridor there. We looked at North Alabama. There's a whole lot that they have that we don't. And part of that is a lot more significant investment. And we're going to have to do that, not just for Jackson, but for our entire healthcare system, Baptists and others in this community. And so we'll be having some more conversations, and I'm glad you all asked me about it because I'm going to need your help in really sharing why that's important to the economic growth, not just of Montgomery, but Prattville, Wetumpka, Pike Road, Talladega County, Elmore County, Montgomery County, all these places. We've been on a great roll here recently, but guess what? It's a lot harder to keep those folks at Maxwell Gunter Air Force Base and to stabilize that mission and grow it. It's a lot harder to bring in more Metas and more Amazons if people don't feel like they can get the proper health care. So that's a great topic and a great conversation. And I believe that we're going to have some positive news that will come out here before the end of the day, if not by lunch.
That's outstanding. We wait forward to that as well. It's been almost a month ago, certainly since the last time we talked to you, that a plan was detailed to help West Montgomery economically. The Fairview Farmers Market and stuff like that. Can you go over the aim of this initiative and how it has been received in the time since it's been announced?
Yeah, Barry, we're working on that, at least 4 or 5 years. It takes a long time, a lot longer than people in my role like for it to take, but that's just how business is. We got 70,000 cars going up and down I-65 every day, and we're losing a lot of money by not having the type of development we'd like to see off of those exits from downtown all the way through our Hyundai exit, Hyundai Boulevard, south in the county. And so it's been a major focus for us to make sure that we capture people who are traveling to the beach, people who are traveling to other parts of the country along that highway and byway. And so by bringing in some of the investment. We put over about $60 million now from that Court Street corridor right there in West Fairview, going back to I-65, from infrastructure, walkability, narrowing the streets, decorative amenities, but also the farmers market, making sure that people have opportunity for fresh food and vegetables so they can live healthier lives. And so that's part of making sure we're serving the residents, but also, be quite honest with you, make sure we're capitalizing on an underdeveloped revenue opportunity, which is I-65, and those exits there, whether it's gas, whether it's food. We can all think about some of the summer travel we're doing with family. When you get off and you stop, whether it's a Chick-fil-A or whether it's Guthrie's or Taco Bell, whatever it is, people kind of want to be able to get off that interstate and get right back on and get their gas and food and keep the kids in the back seat quiet, get them back on their phones or whatever, and get on down the road. We want that in West Montgomery. And so we started focusing on the residents, and we're kind of bringing that together with some of the commercial and retail corridor development that we're now incentivizing through some abatements, some incentives. And those things will help the city. It'll help our general fund, and it'll help us do things throughout the rest of the city.
Mayor, I don't know if you've ever addressed this publicly, but I've thought to ask you this for many, many months now. I know you're aware of Dr. David Thrasher. He sends out an email about once a month to hundreds of people in our area. I know you're on that list as well. You get his emails. And basically it's about the city and what's going on and his thoughts and ideas. And Dr. Thrasher is a very well-respected physician here in our area. Do you get those? Do you read them? Do you ever comment on those?
I don't. I may get them, but I don't have time to read somebody else's opinion. I know what's going on.
Yeah.
Just about better than anybody. So whether it's emails or whether it's social media, those kind of things, I tend to block out and focus on the hard work that we have to do, whether it's education, whether it's public safety, or whether it's economic development. Those are the things that I tend to focus on. I get a whole lot of emails that are factual, from the legal notice and people suing the city to people who want to sell the city something that you try to go through and get prepared on. And certainly when you have a situation like Jackson Hospital, that's kind of been hanging over our shoulder here for the last several months. You're knee deep in trying to do as much research as you can on things like that. But I hear some of that. I think some of it comes in questions that I have with community leaders and business leaders, whether it's the chamber, the Committee 100, or you had the Rotary Club or someplace like that. I get a lot of questions. Some probably come from emails or other social media sites, next door, things that are out there like that. But I just kind of address that as it comes about.
A lot of times your office, it feels like people try to dictate to you, including, the state and federal government, in terms of public safety. You've got to have this number of public safety officials or else this, or you've got to do that. It does seem like sometimes, for lack of a better phrase, people are nipping at your heels trying to, you got to do this, you got to do this. I can't believe, the public safety aspect of it all. Gosh, you have really been committed towards that. Can you give us an update as we head into summer on exactly how things are going with your initiatives to try to make Montgomery safer?
Yeah, we're going to do a press conference after the 4th of July. We're going to talk about kind of where we are mid-year. And again, our numbers are improving tremendously. And that's with the help of a lot of people, with the city, county, the state, our federal partners. And those are folks that we've always been partnering, working with. And we're going to be able to share those numbers and the improvements that we made, even year over year. We made substantial improvements the prior year. So we're going to do kind of a 1 and 2 and 3 year trend so we can show people the progress that we've been making in the community. And I think, John and Barry, it's important for us to really talk about the improvement that our men and women in first responders have been doing and have been making in our city. And that's everybody. That's everybody kind of working, collaboratively as a team, not worried about who gets the credit or who gets the glory, if you will. and our numbers are substantially better. Now, we'd all like for those numbers to be zero. They never have been in Montgomery. I know some might want us to think that way, but they never have been, and we never have had as lax of a gun control laws as we have right now either. That doesn't help. So, there's a combination of things that, we have to address here in the city, that how society has changed, how laws have changed, and things that we're going to need to change with it. Now, the good thing is I've had some conversations since the legislative session ended, and I do think there's some willingness after the elections are out of the way to have some, I would say, some action. I think we're having conversations now about changing some things that may have been a little bit, may have had some unintended consequences there that have impacted a lot of our cities around the state. So that part is helping. Our recruitment is up. Just met with Chief Gray Boys yesterday. We're expecting our largest class that we've had in the last 3 to 4 years, and we expect the fall class to be larger than this one. So the incentive that the city council approved with our initiation on that is working. But I tell people all the time, there are a lot more careers that people can get into now. Our military, when you talk to our generals out here at Maxwell, they'll tell you they're under manned, or in terms, they don't have the same type of manpower that we used to have 20 years ago, because young people are choosing to do different things. Well, that trickles down to law enforcement as well. Mayors across this state and across this country would tell you they're anywhere from about 25 to 30% down in a lot of places. Now, not everywhere, but in a lot of places, most places, than they were, 10 years ago. So the competitive landscape has changed. We're trying to compete by signing bonuses and salaries, benefits, all those things. And I think that by marketing more, we'll be able to get there. And I'll end with this. Quantity for us is not everything. Quality really, really is. And so just like we talk about with signing classes and teams, you can get to a certain number, but do you really have the type of fit, the type of psychological and mental and physical, fit that you need for your community? And that's very, very important for us. And so we have been a little bit more stringent in terms of who we allow in, to make sure that we don't have a mistake, down the line, and to make sure the community feels well represented. But I'm glad to share with you guys that those recruitment numbers are up, and again, those crime numbers are down, and we're going to be talking a lot more about that after July 4th.
Mayor, I saw earlier, I guess it was earlier this week, and I thought about you when I read the article, and I saw some pictures. They are building a new downtown arena in Mobile. I think Regions Bank is one of the big sponsors. And I know when I saw it, I'm sure when you see it, you go, we need something like that in Montgomery. You've voiced that desire on this program many a time. Can you give us an update on maybe where we stand on that?
Yeah, I've been keeping up with that. I told Spiro, who's the mayor down there, I said, I'm watching what you're doing. And he said, you got to give Stimson the credit. I said, well, I told Mayor Stimson that when he was down there as well. So we kind of keep up, in cities. Again, people may not know, but mayors are kind of like coaches in a way. We're competitive now. So somebody gets a big job, announcement, or somebody doing something well. We're trying to see how they do it and to see what we need to do to kind of top them the next time around. But I'm glad to say, John, on the, backstory of the downtown arena convention center expansion is moving along pretty well. And I think that, third quarter of this year, by the third quarter of this year, we would have made our decision on how we will finance this and how we will start building it. And that thing is going to change Montgomery. It's going to allow us to have bigger conventions, bigger conferences. And John, as we just talked about a little bit over some Dreamland barbecue yesterday at the Central Alabama Sports Commission, we talked about bringing in Sunbelt, bringing in SWAC, going after some SEC tournaments. Our goal is not just to kind of stay flat-footed where we have been. Our goal is to make sure this is the type of arena, the type of space that is multi-purpose, that we can flip and we can have a top-tier tournament in downtown Montgomery. We expect that to happen, and we expect it to not only benefit, again, the city, but to benefit the river region in Central Alabama. So we talked about it from youth sports to high school sports to collegiate sports and even professional sports as well. So that's the goal, and I think we're tracking right along where we want to be to be able to get this thing financed and to make sure that it is a revenue producer. Somebody asked me, well, why would you put this kind of money in arena? I said, because of the revenue that it's going to generate for downtown and for our city, for the county, and what that will allow us to do throughout the rest of the community. I said the numbers are there. And plus, as a community, we have to make sure we're keeping up with the Joneses, if you will. We can't fall too far behind Legacy Arena in Birmingham, Regions Arena in Mobile, and what Huntsville is planning to do as well. We've got to stay right in line with them, or else we're going to be an afterthought.
I know you listen to a lot of people. A lot of people have your ear. There's a lot of people who try to gain your attention. But if you need some advice when you're on the green and somebody's lining up a putt, get John on the phone. Jangling the keys in your pocket always helps.
Clearing your throat.
Yeah, You're talking to an expert over here. We hope you hit them straight, Mayor. We certainly do.
Make sure everybody puts them out. No gimmies today, Mayor.
Not today.
I love it.
Thanks so much for the time.
Thanks, you guys. Keep up the great work. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you, buddy. Appreciate that, Mayor.
Happy 4th of July, too.
Yes,
I hear you.
as well. Happy 4th of July.
Mayor,
That is coming for sure.
It is next week. Mayor Stephen Reed joining us here today on the program. Always appreciate his visit here with us on the show, and it's good stuff, and we appreciate that. Whether you agree or disagree, you get to hear what he has to say, like with any kind of politician that's on with us. Believe it or not, there's some things that Senator Tuberville says that some people don't.
As if,
it does happen. But really appreciate his time today.
Yeah. Good stuff. Coming up, the old clock on the wall says it's just about time.
Oh, look at that.
Phantom's Daily Dog.
Yeah, how about
on the
that?
Other side of this break. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
The Montgomery Regional Airport is getting better the more you use it. MGM offers multiple nonstop daily flights to Atlanta, Charlotte, Dallas-Fort Worth, and Washington's Reagan National Airport via Delta and American Airlines. And beginning this April, MGM will offer daily nonstop flights to Houston's Intercontinental Airport via United Airlines. All of these cities offer easy connections to destinations all over the country and all over the world. Make travel more cost-effective and less stressful when you utilize your Montgomery Regional Airport. MGM, you can get there from here.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You get a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light. Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here? Oh, Bud Light there. I missed that because of you. You did not miss that play because of me. Don't you stop talking this way? Yeah. It's actually kind of fun. Hey, I got your Bud Light. Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. What I miss? I have no idea.
Prattville Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk, stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet. All right, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you're with us. Bottom of the hour here on the program. Longshore and McKnight. And really appreciate it. Barry, I don't know I guess this probably happens to you as well. But when we have guests on, whether it's the mayor, Senator Tuberville, Rodney Orr, Jason Caldwell,
Josh Harris.
Yeah, that's right. We get a lot of comments, questions on the River Region Straw chat line. I also get a lot of questions, not only on the VIP River Region Straw text line, but the regular text line as well. Hey, can you ask the mayor this? And certainly got several of those while we were on the air. And unfortunately, I'm sorry, I'm just seeing them now.
Well, we were running out of time anyway. It's kind of like Rodney Orr. Rodney's talking and I hear ding, ding in the background. Ask Rodney about the defensive tackle from Deatsville that's part of the 2029 class. I hear, he's a corn-fed boy or something, Can't ask him about everybody.
Sure. Sure. That's right. But I have passed these questions on to the mayor. I just copied and pasted and sent it to him. Say, hey, Mayor, here's a couple other questions. If you got a minute, let me know, and I'll pass it along to our audience, which he usually gets back to me. It might be Monday before I have the answer for you. Yeah. But you can do that if you have a pressing question.
Normally, his response is something like, no, Marquez Valdez-Scantling drops too many balls. He led the NFL in drops last year. I don't know why the Cowboys think he is a quality pickup in the free agent, that kind of stuff. Yeah, when the Cowboys open preseason against the Seattle Seahawks, I hope they start Dak Prescott, because this needs to be his year. And There's usually a question or two about that. We didn't get to because it is early summer, but believe me, when we get him on again, we're going to ask him about the Cowboys. So,
yeah, well, I will say this, Barry. I have seen the Cowboys stock rising since Caleb Downs got drafted. They went through some OTAs or whatever they call it, PTIs, or I don't know what it is. And a lot of people out there are high on the Cowboys. I'm thinking, here we go again. Oh, boy. Now, we do know the Cowboys are on Monday night, Sunday night, 3:00 Sunday afternoon. Yeah. I've never
all of their preseason games will be nationally televised. And
yeah, I've never seen a professional sports team get so much preferential treatment. I know what you're thinking. Hey, Alabama was on CBS every week at 2:30. I said professional teams got preferential treatment like the Cowboys get.
This is what, and they got, God bless Dusty May for taking the Mavericks head coaching job, but this ain't a Texas Rangers town. It ain't a Dallas Mavericks town. It's all about the Cowboys every time, all the time on Sports Talk Show. And I don't know how they do it over and over and over again, because it's always, okay. I know what we said last year, but this is the year of the Cowboys.
This is the year.
This was the hot topic last week on Dallas Sports Talk, which is always vibrant and active. Dak Prescott, Friday, Thursday, Tuesday, in a small press conference at the OTAs, he said the bare minimum expectation for the Cowboys is to make the playoffs. That's the bare minimum. I get what he's trying to say, but yeah, the fans. Good luck, Dallas Sports Talk, trying to take that and run with it.
Cool.
That should be the bare minimum for the Arizona Cardinals.
Sure, it should.
The bare minimum expectations for the New Orleans.
Don't like half the teams make the playoffs in the NFL?
Well, we at least need to make the playoffs. Yeah. As the kids used to say when I was young, no duh.
No duh.
And, they got...
Well, I will say this. The Dallas Cowboys are my fallback when I hear somebody say, well, they're not any good. Don't have to be. They're the team that moves the needle. Well, they're not any good. Don't matter. And maybe that this country's gotten soft because you don't have to be good. Just move the needle. Just go for it. Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. So, and I don't like that philosophy. I got to tell you, Barry, I don't like that. I like you got to be good. You got to win the game. It's kind of like we don't want to schedule them. We might lose. Or we don't want 9 conference games. We might lose. Don't want to hear it. You might win too. You got to think positive. You might win the game. And I know a lot of people think, well, Dallas isn't any good, but they moved the needle. The fans love them. Okay. Similar to Notre Dame back in the day. Notre Dame,
similar to the Phantom. God knows.
Oh, yeah. Let's
people
go
love
here.
him. People love the Phantom.
Well,
sometimes people who don't actually, make any sort of move on the Phantom's daily dog, they just like it. They just, whatever. Even if you never do anything with the Phantom's daily dog, especially, here in Alabama, we're doing something like that's illegal. People just like the Phantom. They like the way he presents it. The next day, hey, how'd the Phantom do? Ooh, he lost. That's all right. It was still pretty good.
Well, I know what people are
Cowboys.
thinking.
Didn't win the Super Bowl. That's all right. It was fun.
Doesn't the Phantom usually come on about 20 minutes past the hour in hour number 2? Well, yeah. And should I take it that he's 15 minutes late, that it wasn't a good night last night? Not necessarily. No. Not at all.
Usually when we're 15 minutes late, it's either because we got Rodney Orr on, or we're talking about Caches and Arities of Angels and Nighttown and, Hog's Breath and all this kind of stuff. Sometimes we get off on topics, and try as I might. All right, before we go to break, remember, coming up next, and then John's like, wait, hang on a minute before you go to break. And I'm like, I got one more thing real quick.
That can
the
happen.
words real quick that kind of bug me because it's never real quick.
Yeah,
okay.
It never is.
So,
well, Barry, last night or yesterday, I forgot what time this game went. I think 5:40 was the first pitch for this game. It took place in the Motor City of Detroit, where the Houston Astros rolled into town to take on the home team Tigers. And Barry, the total in this game was 9. 9 was the run total in this game. And, man, things were humming right along. We played 5 complete innings and nobody scored. We're thinking, I like the looks of this. Houston got a run across in the top of the 6th, but there was no more scoring until the 9th inning. I know what you're thinking. Okay, the total's 9. You got the under. There's only 1 run on the board. Houston scores a run in the top of the 9th. Okay, there's 2 runs. Detroit scores a run in the bottom of the 9th. Okay, that's 3 runs. But I'm even thinking to myself, trying to do the numbers, even if Detroit ties this thing up and goes to the bottom of the 10th and hits a grand slam, we're still good. It's okay. No big deal.
And despite the fact that it was a solo homer, it wasn't anything like that, and it was in the bottom of the 9th, 2 things to bear in mind. Number 1, the guy who hit it for the Tigers to win it, walk-off home run, the guy's name is Dylan Dingler. For a guy whose name is Dylan Dingler, he needs some good things to happen in his life because he's had some tough things. And number 2, the age-old saying, well, here, if you're gonna cover for me, kid, I appreciate you not hitting the home run leading off the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah.
And leading to a major, major offensive explosion for your team to at least give the possibility of going over.
That's correct.
You hit a solo homer in the bottom of the 9th.
That's right.
End the game and win it 2-1.
No, actually, Houston won the game 2-1.
Yep.
Yeah, it was Detroit's only run.
That's
Dingler's 19th homer.
Yep.
9th inning off De Los Santos. Who is De Los Santos?
De Los Santos. He took De Los, I can tell you that. Yeah.
So everything was good there. We weren't sweating it out. So what? Bottom of the 9th. This is a winner. Don't matter what happened from this point
That was the
on.
only run the Tigers scored.
That's
I stand
right.
corrected. Dylan Dingler. It wasn't a walk-off.
It was awesome. It was great. I mean, hey, Detroit, I hate it for you. But,
does not hate it for them. That's Bravo Sierra right there.
I mean, I hate you lost at home, wrapping up a series with the Astros. But, hey, better luck today. What you say? Come on. All right. Speaking of today, got a full slate of baseball today. Weekend series beginning on Friday. Got a couple of 5:40 games. A 6:07 first. Is that a Canadian thing? Toronto starting at 6:07, taking on Texas?
No.
What's up with that?
You see some 6:07s here and there, but I never have understood that. I never have understood why you don't start them at 6:00. The first person to ever start something at 6:05 was Ted Turner.
That's true.
I get it. You want to have all that going on, but if you watch the College World Series the other day, it started at 6:09.
Yeah, what's up with that?
And they had to do like 19 different pre-prepared things, the road to own it. Yeah, can we go ahead and just get Berkey on there, just get Ben McDonald on there? Hey, I think they're going to win, and just go. Same thing with this thing. 6:07 start time.
I used to love Vern and Gary for about 6-7 minutes before kickoff. Get their little take on it. Gave people an opportunity to cuss at Gary. I don't know why Gary took so much crud. I always liked Gary Danielson. He was
I didn't like him for a long time. I liked him very much afterwards.
Gary softened up on us.
He flew from Detroit, Michigan to Rod and Paula's Memorial in Auburn, Alabama.
Yes.
And
how about that?
All right in my book.
That's exactly right. Speaking of Ted Turner, the late Ted Turner, he owned the Atlanta Braves at one point in time. Barry, that's the last game on the card tonight in San Francisco, 9:15 first pitch. Braves are a favorite. I'm not sure what caps the Giants are wearing for this game.
I don't know if the players have got Sharpies and they'll put Bible verses on there and the major leagues will come down hard on them.
Could those guys have elected not to wear those hats?
They could not have.
They were forced to wear a hat that some of them did not want to wear.
Well, they would have had the option to not play in that game without wearing the prescribed, approved Major League Baseball uniform on there. And
as much as those guys are getting paid,
Sharpie on there, and they put some Bible verses and the Major League.
That's ridiculous. As much as those guys are getting paid, I would have sat out that game and taken the loss just to prove my point. You're not going to make me wear something that I'm not comfortable with.
That I don't agree with. Yes.
All right, so let's go to tonight. Barry, is this called a Beltway series? I don't know if Baltimore's this is an outside of the Beltway series, but these two teams are relatively close. I would think there would be some type of rivalry between the Washington.
Come on now. You've been there. You've been to the stadium.
What is the name of their team? Senators, Guardians, Nationals.
Nationals.
I knew
the Washington Nationals.
I've never been to a game, Barry, but I've walked past the stadium. Does that count?
Yeah. If it counts for you, should have remembered their name if you've walked by their stadium.
I've walked by the stadium before.
But this is not
Navy Yard.
Technically, it's not at that stadium.
No,
it's in Baltimore tonight. Just a short drive from the nation's capital.
How many baseball team, Major League Baseball teams, Barry, do you think actually take a bus to an away game? Not many. This would be an example. I guess if the Cubs and the White Sox are playing, if the Mets and the Yankees are playing, the
Angels,
maybe I would think they're going to take a bus. Matter of fact, I'd be surprised if they didn't. This is a bus
Now, you
game.
don't take a bus from Columbia, South Carolina to Auburn, Alabama. It is 40 miles away via the Baltimore-Washington Parkway from Washington, D.C. north to Baltimore.
I'll say this just to clarify it. A football team in the SEC, other than Mississippi State, would not take a bus from Columbia, South Carolina to Auburn, Alabama. Now, the baseball team probably does, but the football team, not happening.
I'm not sure that the Baltimore Orioles have ever spent a night at the La Quinta.
No, or stopped at a Buc-ee's, for that matter.
Somebody says, I want a smoothie. The person behind the counter says, have all you want.
Have all you want. I got a Bucky story to share with you after this pick.
Okay.
So tonight, Barry,
moving.
Washington at Baltimore. The total in this game is 9. Now, we had a winner with a total last night that we just talked about. But, Barry, this is a big rivalry game. Going to be a little tight, little tense. Going to feel each other out. Don't want to make any stupid mistakes. Full house. Energy crowd.
Yeah.
I'm thinking for a really good defensive battle tonight. Baltimore hosting Washington, bragging rights here. I like this game to go under the total as well of 9 runs, 9 total runs. And I'm going to take under 9 in the Washington at Baltimore game tonight. That is the Phantoms' daily dog.
When we come back.
Yes.
It'll be the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel.
And a quick Bucky story.
Yes.
I got a quick Bucky story.
That's coming up as well. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Prattville Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk, stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Grab some Bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, here we are back at it. About 10 minutes to go to the top of the hour. Barry Joe is on a roll today about the 6:07 start time.
Yeah, he says 6:07 gives me a few extra minutes to get my bets in. Signed Coach Bohannon.
Wow, man.
Pretty good.
You're on a
cut
roll, man. You've had some good ones lately.
All right,
Barry,
given
I
that
had
we
to
just
stop
have
it.
a couple of minutes before we get to the top of the hour, real quick, Bucky's story.
I had to stop. I was with the young son recently. He wanted to stop and get a brisket sandwich at Bucky's. I said, "Are you kidding me? Really? Yeah, I'm kind of hungry." We roll into the Bucky's over there by Auburn.
You better be more than kind of hungry if you're going to eat a brisket sandwich.
Well, the kid's a growing boy. I tell you, kid will eat anything. And I'm thinking, this place is a zoo. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. I mean, they couldn't find a parking place. There's 300 gas pumps. People are pumping gas.
It
I
is
walked into the place.
Total chaos in there.
I mean, there's a lady with a grocery cart. I'm going, who shops at Bucky's? I mean, this lady's walking around. It's like a garage sale under a roof. Just
you can buy
in her Bucky's.
Anything at Bucky's.
Yes. And then I said, well, I'm going to go in here and get a Coke. I'm going to get something to drink for the ride. And I go to the fountain and I fill up my Coke and I'm looking around where to pay for it. Not that I would do this, but my first thought was, there are so many people in here and it is so chaotic. I could walk right out of the door. They never know it.
They got all the security cameras, though.
But I got to think a lot of people have probably done that.
Yeah. And John, on that security camera, is looking up and saying, I ain't paying 50 cents for no Coke.
Yeah.
They'll find you somehow.
I'm just thinking, man, and they're nice. The lady was very nice at the checkout and whatnot, but I'm thinking, man, this place. So coming back, I tell you this, when we were growing up, Barry, there was a pizza chain called Godfather's Pizza.
Oh, heck yeah.
Remember them?
Of course.
And I'm not a huge pizza guy, but I remember thinking, I remember Godfather's was really, really good. So we're somewhere else I was with the wife. She loves pizza. And we pull over at like a Love's truck stop. You see their logo on the Oklahoma City Thunder jerseys.
Yeah.
I think it's big out in Oklahoma. They're no Bucky's, but they're doing well.
Right.
And they had a Godfather's Pizza in the Love's store. I think it's the one right there at West Point. Matter of fact, Barry, it's across from the Frisky Whiskey, exit 3 on I-85.
Told you this wouldn't be a quick story. Told you.
And we got a Godfather's Pizza at the Love's truck stop. It was phenomenal. I'm thinking, why is this place not everywhere? So I Googled it to find out where the closest Godfather's Pizza was to Montgomery. Yeah. It's in Hope Hall at the Love's truck stop. I might go down there this weekend and pick up a pie.
I do love me.
It was good.
A Love's truck stop. They've got.
All right, there you have it. That's my story.
All right, let's see if we've got the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. I'm waiting to eyeball
I can tell more stories.
In the, I'm not seeing it yet in the green room, so we may have to hold on.
Joe says until you get tapped on the shoulder by a beaver wanting his 96-ounce fountain drink back.
I'm telling you, they'll find you.
I did notice the camera, Barry. I noticed the
cameras, plural.
No, not the camera, but I noticed the flat screen monitor, and there's like 8 different scenes on it. And I'm thinking, are they looking at me right now?
Bucky's is unbelievable. I've been to about 7 different Bucky's in all of my travels. And I'm telling you, you can buy a motion-activated hunting camera at Bucky's.
Yes.
And you can buy beaver nuggets.
You certainly
can buy 70 different kinds of Yeti coolers, or you can buy a big T-shirt with a beaver head on it. I mean, they got everything you could possibly want.
My brother-in-law got me a pair of Bucky's boxer shorts one Christmas.
Of course, my new latest favorite story. And of course, I've been to the Bucky's over at the Auburn exit too.
Yeah.
My new favorite story was when Argentina played that friendly soccer match against Iceland at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Lionel Messi, who's the best player in the history of golf, actually scored a goal at Jordan-Hare Stadium. He is the greatest player in the most popular sport in the world. He's probably one of the 10 most recognizable people on the face of the planet.
Yep.
he scores a goal in Jordan-Hare Stadium, that should be on a pencil drawing outside Jordan-Hare Stadium, unlike out and going.
I'm not sure that, Barry, if that wasn't set up.
But
it was an exhibition game. He didn't hardly play. He rolls out there, happens to make a goal.
He scored more goals than anybody in the history of the World Cup. And John says, they probably helped him. Sure.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking,
you know how
look,
he
we're going to let you
celebrated?
trot out there with about 2 minutes left. You kick one in, the crowd goes crazy. You trot back out. That's all we need from you tonight.
Yeah, and if you're going to do a Daniel Moore painting, you got to do one of Lionel Messi scoring a goal at Jordan-Hare Stadium. But you know how he celebrated? Again, Lionel Messi is from Argentina. He does not speak English, or he
I didn't know that.
he plays for Inter Miami in Major League Soccer now, so he's in America a lot. But he does not speak English, or has not for forever. Maybe he's
kind of like the pitcher for the Dodgers. He doesn't speak English, does he?
I'm kind of thinking like Shohei. I'm thinking it may, unless maybe he's taken that course that Russell Ziske taught, English as a second language in Stripes.
Russell
Ziske. Here we go, just a walking down the street singing, and then I'll go, do what did he do?
I don't think there's anybody on the planet whose last name is Zitsky. Now, nobody has that name. Where do you come up with that?
But anyway, so how does non-English speaking Lionel Messi celebrate scoring a goal at Jordan-Hare Stadium? I'm telling you, social media was nuts, pardon the pun. Hey, believe it or not, I just saw Lionel Messi at Buc-ee's in Auburn. Oh my gosh, Messi was at Buc-ee's in Auburn. Anybody know what he got? Yeah, he got a couple of bags of the beaver nuggets and a one of those foldable chaise lounges, one of those foldable beach chairs. Oh, that's great. How about that? If I'm Buc-ee's, I would have gotten that video from those cameras. I would have comped him a Coke, and I would have used that on every bit of my marketing.
Speaking of that, let me ask you a question. I don't go to Buc-ee's very often. I think I've been twice in my life. I went to the one up by Huntsville and Athens.
I've been to that one. I've been to one in Texas. I've been to the one down in Loxley. I've been to one in, West Virginia. I can't remember. I've been so many places. But I've been to about 6 or 7 different ones. And they're all the same.
Somebody try to answer this one for me. Why can I not get a fountain Coca-Cola product at the Buc-ee's fountain? It is Buc-ee's Cola or Buc-ee's Vanilla Cola or Buc-ee's Cherry Cola. Now, I can get a Dr. Pepper. I believe I can get a Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
I believe I can get there was no Pepsi. There was no Sprite.
They've got.
It's like a Buc-ee's Lemon Lime.
They've got sponsored contracts. That's the same reason why you could never buy a Pepsi at Legion Field.
But what I'm saying is I didn't see a Coke or a Pepsi. I did see a Dr. Pepper because that's what I got.
Yeah.
Had a Dr. Pepper Zero, had a Dr. Pepper Diet, I believe. But there was no Pepsi or Coke. It was Buc-ee's Cola or Buc-ee's Vanilla Coke.
I've been at the Buc-ee's just outside of Savannah on the way back from Georgia Southern game that Troy football won, and Coach Parker paid for everybody on the football team to get something at Buc-ee's. Paid for it himself.
Wow.
Those big old linemen, they were getting those brisket sandwiches, which I've never had. They say it's great.
And they sing when the brisket comes out. Before they chop it up, they go, brisket on the table or something like that. The whole store goes crazy.
It does. Evidently it's really, really good. I've never had the brisket sandwich before, but I've had like the nuts that they've got in there, that sometimes they put, cinnamon sugar on it or something like that. I've had those. I've had their own special brand of actually a pork rinds one time. Those were not very good, but yeah.
Now, Barry,
I'm with you on Plainsman Preston on this one. The smoked chicken is better. I haven't had the brisket, but I have had the smoked chicken. It is phenomenal.
Now, this is a good question. Did Coach Parker put a limit saying, now, look, guys, no smoothies. You can get whatever you want, but no smoothies.
Well, there was a limit. because he has a limit, a predetermined limit from his bank debit card. But I saw the receipt. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
It was huge. And it was a
Do
big
they
win.
sell smoothies at Buc-ee's? I'm not even sure smoothies are on option.
They've got, no, I don't think they do.
Yeah.
Well,
lucky for Coach Parker, the smoothies weren't on the menu.
they would have been unlimited. They would have been unlimited because he knows the back chat he would have gotten if somebody tried to limit smoothies. No doubt. Well, that's our week's worth of programming.
Yeah, it is, believe it or not.
Coming up, let's see, on Monday, we're not into the new month yet, but we're getting close to the Independence Day holiday.
And just to let you know, Theotis and others concerned out there, a week from today, we will not be on the air. We're taking a 4th of July holiday on Friday and Monday, too, as a matter of fact. But we will be at Stivers Ford in Montgomery on Thursday. So coming up next week, Thursday, we're at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where Price sells cars. There's a little hint about what I mentioned earlier today on the program. So we will have a short week next week, but we're going to make up for it. I can promise you that.
Yeah, and we'll get into July. We're getting closer. Yeah. For John Longshore and for our producer, Gurn Jr., Mayor Stephen Reed, Mayor of the City of Montgomery, I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by